Good morning, or at least morning. We're going to do some things for the immune system today. Um, a lot of you don't stay for the gentle class, so we'll be a little bit gentler today in this class, but the gentle class is still coming up, and it will be different from what we do in this class. It will be our usual after core kind of stuff we used to do in Pilates. I usually save that for Tuesdays, just because it's such a good one. Anyway, the twisting poses that we did last week, I think Thursday, maybe Tuesday, um, are good for the immune system because the digestive system is important for the immune system. I have a book and I don't remember all the details, but there's things in our digestive system that send signals to the rest of the body as to what's happening, what's needed, how. Anyway, I'll have to look up the book unless you know what it's called, but it was really interesting. It might be One Spirit Guide or One Spirit Medicine or One Spirit something like that. But anyway, digestive system is important for the immune system, as we now know in the West. Everybody's kind of acknowledging that now. And also the thymus gland, which sits right here. This is the thyroid is up here, but the thymus sits down lower, right about here. And it is the one that sends the signals that it gets from the pituitary gland and probably other parts of the body as to where the white blood cells need to go. So it's really important that the thymus gland be kept healthy. And a lot of the things that we're going to do today as far as the arms and moving the body is going to help to cleanse and send some extra blood flow around that area. The lymph glands also, as well as we know, they're everywhere. In our whole body, we have lymph glands so that they can be right there where needed. But a lot of them, the ones under the arms and in the neck, are exposed to outside bacteria breathing, and these glands under our arms are not glands, sweat glands, pores. Arms are a little bit bigger, so things come in as well as go out under the arms a little bit more in the neck. So we're going to be focusing on helping to cleanse those lymph glands and keeping them healthy because they absorb, they grab onto bacteria, and hopefully they have enough white blood cells in them to kill that bacteria or whatever, virus, cancer. Sometimes we have to have lymph glands removed because they are full. So cleansing them and moving around in these bigger lymph gland areas, but we're going to move around the spine because there's lymph glands there. There's lymph glands everywhere. So anyhow, we're going to do some things today for the immune system, which may be unfamiliar to some of you, may be familiar to some of you. But let's start seated, cross-legged if you can. And let's just do that warm-up where we roll right below the ribs and above the hips, which circle in there, starting to stimulate and warm up the low back area. Obviously, we have a lot of lymph glands, as we know, in the groin area as well. This is also good for the digestive system, just like twists are. Inhale as you circle forward, exhale as you circle back. It's not going to be all easy, gentle stuff today, but it is going to be kind of a different focus. When I want to warm up our backs and our hips and things so that we can sit comfortably for a little bit, because some of this is done just seated as we are. So be sure you're sitting comfortably on a blanket or two, on a bolster, on a block with a blanket on top, on a couple pillows. Men in particular, their hips, they don't sit cross-legged comfortably. They need to sit on something, and men in particular don't like to do that. Nobody can see you now. Inhale, center, and exhale, my longest, actually now, well, two of them. But one is continuing, the other one is kind of practicing on its own. Men who've been with me the longest, 15, 20 years in some cases, still and always sit on blankets. They're experienced yoga people. They've been with me for a long time, and they know to do what helps them practice yoga better. That's what props are for. I don't even like calling them props, but that's what they're called. Inhale back to center and arch forward, pressing your chest forward, lifting your chin a little bit, but not dropping your head back. And then round and tuck your chin and round back without lifting your shoulders. They don't come up to round back. They stay neutral. Inhale as you press forward. Exhale as you round back. Again, just warming up a little bit higher on the back, along the spine, those muscles that support us when we stand, when we sit, when we walk, and the muscles that may be tight after a night of resting in bed. Breathe deeply. We're going to do a few things with the breath today. Holidays coming up. Let's not forget about alternate nostril breathing. They help us stay calm during the holiday season, or just autumn, shorter days. Alternate nostril breathing is good for a lot of things. Now inhale up to straight. Put your hands on your shoulders, and as you exhale, curve to the right. And as you inhale, curve to the left. Again, just a few minutes of warming up the muscles around the spine and the back. One of my teachers doesn't like to call it the spinal cord because there are a number of bones in the body, she says, that have little spines on them. She likes to call it the vertebral column, which is too much of a tongue twister for me. Come back to center. Now we are going to do twists. Just make them gentle. Don't twist to your extreme, and make them a little bit quicker than you might normally do. Just gentle without moving your elbows forward. Don't move your arms. It has nothing to do with arms. This is for the back. Keep your elbows out. We do tend to do that. When I twist really far, it looks like my elbow is coming forward, so people watching me think that the elbow has to come forward, but it's really my whole body is twisting. It's really hard to watch a video and practice with a video if you haven't had any experience in a class, because you see only certain things and you don't see the whole of what's happening, like how the feet are aligned or things like that. Believe me, I know. Come back to center, hands on your thighs, lift your shoulders up. And drop them down, make your back of your neck long by pulling your chin down just a little bit. Don't choke yourself. Just think about feeling the lengthening in the back of the neck when your shoulders go down. Stretching. This is a beginning of something that's good for the immune system. It's moving the shoulders. That's why one of the reasons why when you walk, do power walking, walking quickly, you swing your arms. First off, it's good for the heart, very good for the heart. It's also good for the immune system. Pumps the blood. That's how it helps the heart. circle your head, whatever way feels comfortable for you, but don't let it go way back. Just gentle circles. And circle the other way. Now arms out and swing them. Lift your hands up, bend your elbows. Your elbows aren't locked straight. You're not bringing stiff arms. You're just nice and relaxed. Just kind of let your arms drop. They'll swing back wherever they go. Don't try to force it. Yes, this is for the immune system in this case. Good for the heart, but we're focusing on the immune system. So good for cleansing lymph glands, sending some blood to the around the thymus gland. I don't know if it gets blood directly. I know the pituitary does, but I don't know if the thymus does. I mean, around it and through osmosis, I'm sure it has to stay alive and healthy, but not direct blood flow. Kind of like the disc between our vertebrae. They do not get direct blood flow anymore. Those capillaries are cut off. They die at about our age, at 25 or so, after we stop growing. And then it's all through osmosis and squeezing and expanding the discs between the vertebrae. Okay, this one's a little different. This is a heart opener, but it's also a healing movement. You're going to bring your hands to center. You're going to take your elbows back, turning your palms a little bit out, and then you're going to press out shoulder height. And it's done kind of quickly. Don't slap your hands together. Just bring them together, elbows back, palms out. Palms together, elbows back, palms out. Let's just do this for a little bit. You close your eyes. This is a heart opener and really good for the immune system. As I said, this one's going to be a slightly different class. But these days, this is probably more important, keeping our immune system healthy. Who knows how many times we've been exposed to COVID. With a healthy immune system, it just kills them. It doesn't let them take hold and affect you. It doesn't mean we don't be careful. We still are careful. I know arms are getting tired. It's good for the arms too. I thought of something. I was doing downward dog, and then I did bowing downward dog a couple times for my warm-up. And I thought that it was a little bit more challenging than normal. And then I realized the benefit of gaining some weight during COVID. That's the benefit. It makes some of those poses a little harder, so you have to work a little more. I don't know. Sounds like a benefit to me, sort of, kind of. It doesn't mean I want to keep it, though. One more time. Good. Lower your arms. Now interlace your fingers. Have your elbows shoulder height and turn your palms out. And you're going to press your arms out nice and straight and let your back round. Feel the stretch between your shoulder blades, particularly your upper back. And then bring it back. Press it out. And bring it back again. Immune system. These are simple, right? Simple things to help your immune system stay healthy, functioning 100%. Now, if you can, inhale when your arms go out and exhale when they come back. So your breath is a little bit faster because you don't move real slow. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Through your nose if you can. If you can't through your nose, purse your lips and breathe through a little like through a straw. Exhaling through a straw, inhaling. Inhale, arms out, exhale back. It's amazing how many ways you can strengthen your arms without using weights or doing push-ups. Good for the strengthening the shoulders too. One more time. Now lower your arms, roll your shoulders a little bit. We have more to do. If you can, Google about how the digestive system influences the immune system. You don't need to make the book. All the information is basically out there. Actually, you may want to go to, I forget what it's called, other way around, a different search engine. Google has made some agreements that it won't show a lot of natural health sites, or as many as it used to. I don't know if it's still in force or not, but I know I did a test. I did the one that I used, and I did DuckDuck. I think it's the one that I used, DuckDuck.com. Figures, right? Okay, arms up, elbows bent. Lower your arms, lower your forearms. Keep your elbows up, shoulder height. Don't let them come down and come back up. Rotating at the shoulders. There's a little bit of a squeeze in there. The lymph glands also sends blood through the thymus and the lymph glands. Anyway, I did a test. I Googled for the same words on Google. I searched for, and then I did the same words on DuckDuck, and DuckDuck came up with a whole bunch of different websites that had to do with, I was looking at something to do with alternate health, and they came up with a lot more. So if you don't find what you're looking for, or what you think is out there, try DuckDuck. One more time. Lower your arms. Let them rest a little bit. Circle your head. Circling the head, as we've talked about before, is good for the brain. And also, we're cleansing some of those lymph glands around the neck and the throat. You know how your throat swells up when you get a cold or something and you get a sore throat? That's lymph glands grabbing onto the virus. Circle the other way around. Vitamin C. Take extra vitamin C during these days. I think it was a hospital in Colorado treated patients with COVID in the beginning with IV vitamin C, and they were released from the hospital much sooner than those with the standard treatment. So as a preventative measure, vitamin C, oregano oil, magnesium. So many. And then come back to neutral. Now interlace your hands again. Press your palms out, arms straight. Now do this if you need to. Bend your elbows. Do this slowly to see how your shoulders can handle this. You can change your cross-legged, getting tired. Lift your arms up. Try to get your arms alongside your ears if you need to bend them. And then bring them back down to shoulder height. If you want to work with the breath, inhale as you lift up, bring in oxygen so that what you're spreading through the body has more oxygen. Exhale back down to shoulder height. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhaling deeply also works the digestive system because it contracts the diaphragm. The diaphragm is a big, flat, skinny muscle. It pulls air to the bottom of the lungs so you get as much in as you can. And when it contracts, it pushes against the intestines and the belly. That's why your belly expands, pushing all those things out a little bit. Your diaphragm contracts. And exhaling completely out, squeezing in the belly is obvious. It squeezes on the digestive system again to make it healthier. Now, next time your arms come down, bring them all the way down. Let's roll our shoulders again. We still have more to do. And you can always rest anytime you need to. You can just lie down, join class, and rest for a while. Circle the other way. Okay, there are lymph glands, as I said, everywhere, but there's some right here in the wrist. Considering touching things with our hands, remember, don't touch your face after you've been out until you cleanse them with the cleanser, fingertips, palms, backs of the hands, all the way around, and give it a minute to work. But anyway, those lymph glands, we can do something for those. So where are we? We are, okay, arms overhead, the backs of your wrists touch. And again, they can be, elbows can be bent. And then bring your hands down to shoulder height and really press out with your palms. Stretch your wrists. Your fingers are up as hard as you can. And then curl them under to work the other way. Touch the backs of your wrist overhead. Press them out shoulder height. This is moving the blood using your arms, your palms, so that you get fresh blood. You get rid of toxins, old stuff hanging out. Technical term stuff. Please take time to look up things. Learn about your immune system. Learn how to keep it healthy. I figure vitamins aren't going to hurt it. I mean, that's why we eat. We don't eat because it tastes good. We eat to support our body, nutrition. Correct nutrition, and we don't get it in a lot of the fruits that are grown. The soil is depleted. We're not getting as many minerals, even organic, until they rebuild the soil. And slowly down. Okay. Lunge with your feet together. Bound angle. Have your heels in close and do a butterfly. There we go. Cleansing lymph glands. Stay nice and straight. You should feel warmth. I do. In my shoulders, around my neck a little bit. It's a good sign. Yeah, we're going to do this for a little bit. It hasn't even been 30 seconds yet. Feels longer. doing this. So it'll be available if you want it. And it'll be, I mean, it's going to be on YouTube forever, as far as I know. So you can watch it as many times as you want after after you get the link. Now stay straight, don't go pressing your knees down, just stay straight and relaxed. Keep your spine straight as you lean forward. Don't drop your head. Don't let your head go forward. Mine tends to do that and come back up. Mine goes forward when I walk. I have to really be aware. I'm not leaning forward from my low back, my neck going forward. I catch myself all the time, and this is after 29 years of doing yoga, I guess. Still have to catch myself. But I do catch myself. That's the key. Don't feel bad. Don't judge yourself when you catch yourself doing things like lifting the shoulders, tightening up the muscles around your neck. You caught yourself. That's a big step. You have no idea what a big step that is. To be aware of the things you may be doing that can cause stress or pain in your body. You have no idea. That's a really big step. Come forward and round down, do a little stretch. Slowly back up. Let's come to our hands and knees. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hip. Some cat-cow arching and rounding. Try to do it with an inhale as you arch downward and exhale as you round up. Squeeze your belly in. Get rid of all the air. Inhale. Let your belly expand. Exhale, round up. Cleansing the lymph glands around the spinal cord, around the vertebrae. Those are right situated to go quickly, to send white blood cells quickly to places in the body that may have infections, or may have some distress that we have no idea, we don't know anything about. They're always working. So let's keep them healthy. And back to a neutral spine. Let's do a cat balancing. Right leg straight back, left arm straight forward, and hold it just to warm up the back of the leg and the back of the body a little bit before we do some downward dogs and so on. So hold cat balancing, right leg, left arm. Try to really reach out with your right leg. You might reach out with the heel instead of a pointed toe. Find your place to focus on. If you don't feel balanced, lower back down. Adjust where your knees and your hands, the supporting knee and hand is, and then come back up. Don't struggle. Find your balance point. Tighten your abs a little bit. Focus on that one, even down on the ground, it's a balance. Focus on that one point with your eyes without lifting your head up real high. So you're looking kind of forward and down. maybe 45 degrees, something out there, 45 degrees. Okay, lower your right leg and left arm, and lift your right arm and left leg, stretch them. Reach them and stretch them. Hold it. Again, find your balance point. You can do this. Strengthening the back of the body. Warming up the back of the legs. So you can stretch a little bit better through the muscles in downward dog. And lower down. Separate your knees. Make room for your belly. Let your big toes touch. Sit back in child's pose. Breathe. Feel the back expand with your breath as well as your belly. Stretching the back. Stretching the rib cage. Okay, come back up to hands and knees. Reach your hands a little bit forward from your shoulders. Go in a straight line with your shoulders. Spread your fingers. Have your middle finger right in the center, pointing straight ahead. Curl your toes under. Push back to downward dog. And pedal your feet. And if you want, in between the pedals, you can lift up to the balls of your feet, depending on how your toes feel, and then press one heel down and bend the other knee, and then lift up, pumping your legs a little bit more. Good for the heart to pump the leg muscles. Being upside down-ish is good for the thymus, good for the brain, good for the pituitary gland, the master gland. Then press both heels to the mat, press back. Try to hold it. Let your head relax down. Don't try to keep it so your ears are between your arms. Just let it hang down, but don't force it. Just relax it. Lift your right leg up into three-legged. Lunge it. Whatever you need to do to get it forward. So your knee is over your heel. You can lower to your knees and step it forward. Obviously, we know that. Left hand down, kind of over towards your right foot. You can have it on a knuckles. You can have it on a block. Lift your right arm up and twist. And again, don't push back with your arm. Rotate your whole torso in the twist. It's okay if your left hip drops a little bit. It's okay if you lower the left leg down. Hold the twist again. I know we did a lot of twists last week, but this is for the immune system a lot today. And we have to have a twist or two in there. Cleansing the liver, the spleen, and cleansing gently a little bit in the kidneys. The adrenal glands are in the kidneys. The adrenal glands are, well, we know the adrenaline kicks in, right? For emergency situations. And unfortunately, probably most of us are slightly stressed. I mean, have been since March. So the adrenal glands are always slightly producing. And adrenal failure or exhaustion or something like that, it's called, because they're being overused. They're getting tired. It's a gland. It needs to be kept healthy. And come back to the lunge and step back to three-legged dog, or just however you want to change sides. Have the left leg, lunge the left leg forward. Right hand stays down on whatever you're using. Left arm goes up. See, look how I kind of lower my right hip down so I can twist from the hips, twisting the whole torso. Hold the twist. I really want to add in deeper practices in this class, but it makes some people uncomfortable, so I won't. But there are practices that we can do to help cleanse and calm the adrenal glands. But just doing something like taking a walk in nature and not thinking about all the stressful things around us. Alternate nostril breathing. We need time to relax. Even sleeping doesn't necessarily do it. We can have dreams. We can have interrupted sleeps. And lower your hand. Back to lunge. Lower both knee, back knee down. Come to hands and knees. And again, separate your knees a little bit. Sit back toward your heels in child's pose. You can have your arms extended child's pose. Or you can have your hands beside you and let your arms kind of drop down. And hold that child's pose. Child's pose is really a good pose. It's not just a resting pose. You're stretching the back. You're rounding it and stretching it a little bit. We tend to do a lot of things that arch the back just daily, not necessarily in yoga. So rounding is a nice stretch. It's a nice release, and it also puts a little bit of pressure on the kidneys, as well as what's happening with your belly being compressed a little bit in child's pose, cleansing the kidneys and liver and spleen. Okay, come back up to hands and knees. Let's do a pigeon. Right knee forward to the outside of your right hand. It doesn't come forward to your wrist unless you have to do it that way because of knees and hips. If you bring it straight forward, you sit straight back, so your right hip is actually on your right heel. And then you can come down. But if you can, take it to the outside and bring the right foot a little forward toward your left wrist. Stretch your left leg back and come down that way. But modify. Do what's right for you. For your hips, your knees. You can have a blanket underneath your belly so you're not compressing real far down on that right knee. You can have two. You can have a block. That way you don't have to hold yourself up to keep from compressing that knee. You can rest on it. A bolster is great because they're hard. They don't get soft when you lay on them. They support you. Or you can do the reclined. You can lay on your back and do a reclined pigeon. As long as you're aware of what to do for knees, flexing your foot or crossing all the way or whatever works. We're going to hold this for a little bit. Again, this is good for cleansing the lymph glands around the groin area. And also you're putting some pressure on the belly, on the front of the body. So that when you breathe deeply and the diaphragm presses down, you're pressing here a little bit. And it's cleansing the liver. The liver is a healthy liver is really important. Coenzyme Q10 is produced in the liver. It's an enzyme. The glands produce enzymes. It's an enzyme. And as the liver gets older or spends years being overused with toxins and things, it doesn't produce as much, which is why we need to take coenzyme Q10 supplement, because that's used by every cell. And a good one, not sadly the Walmart variation supplier. Okay, come back, however, hands and knees, change sides, left knee forward again. Doing it the right way for you. If you can't compress that knee, then lay on your back, cross your left leg and do a reclined pigeon. It is different, but the same. In some ways, it works a lot of the same area. I know this isn't the class that you were expecting as far as Hatha goes, but I hope it's been okay. Please let me know if it's something that you want more of or less of, or just this is just the right amount. Every couple months, maybe. Because for Hatha, this has been gentle. By the way, the word Hatha means, it's two words put together, means sun and moon. That's why I have my sun and my moon. Because we do things that are warming and invigorating and enlivening, like the sun, and we do things that are calming and gentle and cooling, like the moon. Just a bit longer. And when you have time, I really do highly recommend coming to gentle. There's nothing wrong with being gentle with yourself. And come out of the pose, go back to child's pose. And you can skip core and still come to gentle. Child's pose for a bit. I'm just about to start core. And core being what it is also very good for the digestive system and for the immune system, as well as strengthening and supporting your ability to stand and walk and lift and carry. Okay, come back out of child's pose and come to standing. Yes, we're going to do some of the standing stuff because that helps to circulate the blood a little bit more. And it works our muscles a little differently. Stand wide. 3.5 to 4 feet, or your wrist above your ankles, more or less. Toes turned out, arms straight out, and turn your whole torso and reach your right arm towards your left leg, ankle, foot, whatever works. Come slowly back up, tighten your abs. And then left arm down. Notice I'm not pushing my right arm way back. It's just up there. Come up, and I'm just reaching where I can. You reach where you can, that you don't bend your knees, just to try to get down to the floor, right? Keep your legs straight. So you're moving from the waist, hips, tighten your abs when you come up. Pull yourself up with your abs. This is good for the back. But use your abs, your strengthening abs and back by intention. Move slowly, legs straight. Don't use your leg muscles for this. Use your abs and your back muscles. Only reach down to where you can without bending your knee. Slowly. Breath, it's an exhale down, inhale up. It's up to you if you add that. One more time. And come back, face hip distance-ish. I was thinking of some of my teachers-ish. Grimace. Hands on your shoulders. I'm separating my feet a little bit more for balance. Bring your left knee up towards your right elbow. And right. Left to right, other side. Left leg, right arm. Right leg, left arm. Yeah, I think I got that correct, actually. Pretty impressive. Said it right. Works the upper and the lower abs. So good for the heart. Moving those big leg muscles. Good for the heart. One more time. Feet hip distance, or a little bit more. Bend your knees, bend your hips. Rest your hands on your thighs, not a lot of pressure. Now bring your shoulders up. Keep your shoulders relaxed as you arch inward, round back. Using your muscles to do it. Notice my shoulders don't come up when I round forward. They just relax. It may appear because I'm rounding, but I'm not lifting my shoulders. Actually, my hands do not lift and lower. They stay the same because I'm not lifting my shoulders. I'm just rounding my back. Oh, that's tiring. One more. And let's come down to the mat. Make sure you have your blankets to the side, which has this for your arm to rest on, one on each side, or a block where your elbow would be, so your elbow can rest on something if need be. Right now, arms out to the side. We're going to do it with the knee bent first, and then if your hamstrings are not tight, and you can do it with a straight leg, then we'll do it with a straight leg. But first, lift your right leg up, bend your knee, take the knee across. See how close the knee comes to my left arm? It doesn't touch it, but it comes straight out. That's what we want to have happen when the leg is also straight. But right now we're doing it with a bent knee. Don't try to push this right shoulder down. Bring the knee back up. Straighten the leg back up. And lower down. It's just a 4-part move. Is that 4, maybe 5? 1, leg up. 2, bend. 3, across. See how much I lift? I'm not trying to force that down. 3, 4, back. 5, lift up. Oh, it's a 6-part move. Oh, 6, down. Right leg up. Knee bend. Put the knee in. Give your abs a little bit of work with that. Take it across. Roll back over. Knee still in. Right leg up. Right leg slowly back to the mat. Reach your low abs. Don't let your back arch up. Left leg up. Knee bent. Take it across. Bring it back up. I'm taking it so far across that I'm touching it down. Leg up. Leg down. Right leg up. Bend your knee. Take it across. Bring it back. And one shoulder lifts higher than the other because of my hip being tighter. Left hip is tighter, which is this one. Lift up so this shoulder lifts a lot. Bend. Take it across, and that's okay. Bring it back. For that little bit of time, it's okay if the arm isn't supported. But if you feel you need to, bend your elbow. Right leg. I'll show you that in a minute. Bring it in. Take it across. Bring it back up. Lower down. Lift leg up. Knee bent. I'm bending my elbow. Lift it back up. I'm going to take it across, right? And this is my arm coming up because I can barely touch with this hand on this side. Back down. Leg up. Leg down. Now, if your hamstrings are tight, and that's important, that you don't lift this leg up and take it across down here somewhere, because that really, you'll feel it in the back. After about 3 or 4 moves, it's going to be too strong on the back. Where out here, you work more the waist and the abs. Back up. If your hamstrings are tight, continue doing it with your knee bent. You can do it quickly, so you're about the same speed as us. You don't have to make it all a 3-point thing. Or 6. You can just bring it up. Right? And as your hips and muscles loosen up, you may find that your shoulder might not come as far off the mat when you twist. Because you're getting stretched, warmed. And doing it with the leg also, getting the knee down is further to go than just the toes. See, my knee is up. If I were pushing my knee down, I would be going further, which is why my shoulder would lift more. do the right one more time and then the left one more time. I'm in a gentle mood even for this class. Huh. Must be the rainy weather. Maybe I'll change that in a minute. Hug both knees in and rock. Shoulders relaxed. Use the arm muscle to hug your knees in, stretching your back. Feet on the mat, knees bent. A different kind of upper ab. Arms overhead. How do I want to do this? Let's do it this way. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. And you're going to reach your fingertips toward the ceiling, not toward your knees. So you're going to round a little bit your back, but you're not going to round it a lot. It's more of a straight lift up and back down. 2 and back. 3, 4. See the difference between that and this? 5, 6. Put one hand behind your head if it's getting too strong in the neck, or tuck your chin a little bit, but still try to lift straight up, sort of. 8, 9, 10. Have your knees in. Rock a little bit. We're going to do that 2 more times. And if at any time it gets to be too strong, you can do reaching between your legs and come back down with your arms. That's a rounding. That works different muscles. Those muscles are used to lifting you a little bit now. These are not. So this may tire you out. You may want to do rounding forward instead. Again, lift and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not a very big lift. Keeping your back straight like this doesn't lift it very much. 7, straight-ish. 8, 9, 10. Hug your knees in again. Rock. Feet on the mat. Now we're going to do a combination of the two. Wasn't what I had planned, but I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to do 10, 1 up, and then 1 reaching between your legs. We're going to do a total of 10, so it'll be 20 moves, more or less. So interlace your fingers when you're pointing toward the ceiling. Excuse me. And lift up, reaching to the ceiling, and then come back down, and then reach between your knees, then come back, and up. Bring your elbows, bend them, and reach between your knees. 3. This is not delightful, but 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. Whew, hug your knees. Rock. Arms by your side. Legs up in the air. They don't have to be straight. They can be bent. And get your low back off the mat without doing too much of the swinging up. Try to have your legs wherever they start. Lift from there and then back. 2, 3, 4. I know you can get higher with the swing, but that's not the point. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now bring them more toward above your head. 1, 2. From that starting position, not swinging them down toward the mat. You can have your knees bent. 3, 4. Don't come up too far. 5. No pressure on the back of your neck. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now as you lower, I would put your hands under your buttocks just in case. Low backs. As you lower your right leg toward the mat, bring your left leg toward above your head, kind of like doing a split. So it's like this. The leg that goes down doesn't go down very far. It just counterbalances the other leg. So you can lift your hips a little bit off. And legs together. Right leg down, left leg up toward your head, legs together. I can't talk and do it at the same time, obviously. Ooh, now I'm getting warm. One more time, right leg toward the mat. Left leg toward the mat. Hug both knees in. Rock. Now this is a challenging one. You can, let's all actually start. No, that'd be too wide. Everybody line your mat. We'll do it this way. And separate your legs wide-ish. You can't go as wide as you can seated. So we want to separate our legs while we're lying down because we can get them wider when we're sitting up, but we don't want them that wide. So separate your legs. Don't overdo it. Just, maybe heels just off the edges of the mat, maybe a little bit more than that. I turn so you can see me. And then push yourself up. And don't make your legs wider. Keep them just like that. Right? Now, arms overhead, you can bend your elbows, fingers above your head anyway. And turn and reach down toward one leg. Come back up to straight. Straight. Reach toward the other leg. Back up to straight. Exhale down if you want. Pull your abs in. Inhale up. Exhale down the other side. Inhale up. Use your abs. 3. And up. And 3. Up. 4. I have to remind myself to come up to as straight as I can with my legs out, which isn't totally straight, but I was in my 20s, being straight was a bad thing. That was only mentally. One more time, to the right. One more time, to the left. Pause for a moment and notice your back. My back's feeling put upon, even with my focus on using my abs. So we're still strengthening the back. When you intentionally use your abs to help you lift up, you are still strengthening the back in these poses. Don't ever think you're not. But you're learning how to use your abs to help your back so it isn't over put upon or strained. Now we're going to do this from lying down if you want. You may find that you need to bring your legs a little bit closer to be able to get up. Or you may, after a few times, find that you can get up. Give it a couple tries before you give up. And if you're pushing yourself up, bring your legs closer together to the point where you may not have to push yourself up, but never completely parallel, a little bit apart anyway. And if you find that you can't do it without pushing yourself up, change sides. So push up with the other arm. Because we're alternating sides anyway, which is guarantees you can't keep pushing up with the same arm, because I see people doing that in my core class when we're doing it with the legs more straight forward and we're just coming up. They push with the same arm all the time. That's going to tire out that arm and that shoulder. You need to alternate. So anyway, we're going to be alternating anyway. Anyway. Legs apart, the arms overhead. Come up, reach toward one leg. And control back down. Then come up, reach your arms first. That'll help pull you up. That'll help pull on the upper back, and pulling forward like this, it isn't going to hurt your shoulders. That's like trying to push back with your shoulder. But you're pulling more through the upper back this way. But you're still using your abs and low back. Don't swing them a lot. Just bring them forward as you start to lift. And they'll help. The less you can bring them forward, the more you work your abs. But I don't know if that's not a possibility for me, that's for sure. One more time, to the left. And when you go down, hug your knees in. Rock side to side. Must be sirens somewhere because the dogs are howling. Either that or a train whistle. I don't know what's within that. We hurts their ears. Far away though. Okay, fingers behind your head. Right knee in, left leg out parallel to the mat. Left elbow to right knee. And change sides. Keep alternating slowly. hug, rock. Come over onto your bellies. Hold back, remember, so don't lift high. Stack your hands, forehead on your stacked hands. Lift your arms a little bit off the mat, your chest a little bit maybe, and your legs a little bit. Just lift up a little bit and lower down. Top of your thighs, stay on the mat. Lift and lower. Just above your knees might stay on the mat. Lift and lower. Try to not bend your knees. Lift from the butt and the back. Same with the upper body. Lift from the back. Not your shoulders. Push your elbows up. Lift your head and look forward. Be aware of what you're doing, how you're moving the body. Try to feel it in the whole back. Keep moving. Strengthening the whole back of the body. Okay, lower down. We're going to do this a little bit differently. You're going to have your right hand still underneath your forehead. Your left arm is going to be straight ahead. And you're going to lift your right arm and your left leg and your left arm and your right leg. But you're going to also lift your head a little bit and the right arm. You're not going to change sides. It's like this. Little lift. Working across the body. Let me show you the right leg from that side. The leg you're lifting, you don't tilt your body over. Okay, lift and lower. Don't change sides. Keep your right hand under your forehead. Lift your left arm and your right leg. Not high. I don't care if you can lift it high. Don't. Stay low-ish. Yes, I know. You may feel like you're working more, you're working harder. You may be, but you're not working the muscles we're trying to hit. Stay low. Okay, change sides. Left hand. Forehead on your left hand. Right arm reaching forward. You're going to lift the left leg, right arm, and the left arm a little bit. As you're lifting your chest, the left arm's going to come up a little bit. Little. Move slowly, not as fast as I was. I was just demonstrating so you could see the movement. Okay, release. Come onto your backs. Hug both knees in. Rock side to side. You don't have to hold over the shin. When you hug your knees, you can hold behind. Or you don't have to compress your knees. But you're still stretching the back. Legs just dropping wherever they can comfortably. And it is time for gentle. And I'm glad you're staying. I'm glad you're here. Start just lying on your back with your legs straight. Arms by your side, palms up. Walk your shoulders down a little bit. Walk your feet down a little bit. Tuck your chin a little bit. Let your belly expand with the breath. Massage those internal organs. Squeeze your belly in to get all the air out. Let's bring in some oxygen that'll be needed for our muscles. Be needed for everything in our body. Do a body scan. Try to relax. Relax any place you're holding tension. I say that because I noticed I was holding tension in my shoulders and upper back. Don't grit your teeth. Don't frown. Don't concentrate on what we're doing and we end up frowning. Breathe deeply. Feel your body expanding like a balloon filling up with air. This whole routine that we do on Tuesdays, beginning anyway, is all really good for the immune system. We do things for the digestive system, which is the immune system. We move our arms, cleansing lymph glands, sending blood through lymph glands, cleansing them, stimulating the thymus gland. Not only does this wake up the body and the energy system, it also works on the physical system, the glands, the joints. Raise your arms to the floor above your head or bend your elbows and do like cactus arms. Maybe bring your hands a little bit more in toward above your head, but your elbows still bent. Let's stretch in your chest. Let's stretch along the ribs and in the belly even. Still breathe deeply, as deeply as you can. And exhale, squeezing the air out. So we normally don't exhale completely. So squeeze the air out, pull your abs in before you inhale again. It's also one way to start noticing the diaphragm. That's how David and I teach beginning yoga or beginning Tai Chi, to teach people how to breathe from the belly, is to squeeze it in as tight as you can, exhale it. And then when you inhale, it does the reverse. I forget what that's called, something. But it expands a little bit more than you might normally expand it with the breath. I forget what it's called. Oh. Okay, inhale here. And as you exhale, bring your right knee up, bring your arms up, hug the knee in. You're still exhaling, squeeze the belly, exhale everything out. And then when it's time to inhale, inhale your leg down, arms overhead. Still inhaling. Finish the inhale, let your belly expand. And exhale, left leg up, arms up. Squeeze the belly in, inhale. Back to starting position. Move slowly, control your breath. Breathing slowly and deeply isn't just about the breath. A slow breath, a complete breath, sends signals to the body, to the brain, telling everything is okay. We breathe deeply when we're most relaxed, sleeping, or when we're not under stress. We automatically breathe deeply. You ever notice that after something stressful, you take that deep breath? That's almost an automatic thing. That's telling your mind and your body to relax. It's over. It's okay. Relax. So you can trick your mind and your body into believing everything is okay by breathing deeply. That connection is already made. You can use that to relax yourself, to relax your brain, to relax the adrenal glands. We talked about that a little bit in Hatha. Now, next time you're hugging the right knee, just keep holding it. Relax and still try to breathe deeply. It's harder with that knee pulled in to let your belly expand, but try to do it. With the knee pulled in, just means that your diaphragm muscle is going to have to work more, which is going to strengthen it so that it'll be able to work more without that little push against your thigh or your leg holding it in. Try to let your belly still expand with the inhale. Still breathe slowly. And pay attention throughout the day. If you see something on the news, if you hear something, if you read something, if you start to feel stressed, your shoulders might tighten up, your back might arch, and you will not be breathing deeply. The first thing that you have control over is your breath. So relax it. Take a deep inhale and relax, and you'll feel your shoulders relax. You may feel your back relax. As soon as you do that, and continue breathing deeply for a while to relax the central nervous system. Now release that. Oh no, we're still holding that leg. I forgot what we're doing. I'm into my, lecture mode. Cup your right hand over top of that knee and rotate from the hip. Not so that you lift up your body. Your back stays down, your butt stays down, both sides. This is for the hip joint. Not for seeing how far you can go. Keep going with that rotation. Excuse me. Use your breath. Alternate nostril breathing through the holidays. If I remember, we'll do a little bit at the end in this class. Alternate nostril breathing, just to remind you how to do it. Scientifically proven now. They hook us up to things, electrodes and whatever, and they can see how it affects our body and our brain waves and everything. Breathing, just breathing. And you have that ability. You have that knowledge. You have your breath. Use it. Okay, circle the other way around, please. If you want to do this with the breath, it's an inhale as you're circling inward towards your belly. Exhale it as you're circling out. Whichever direction you're going, you still have an in and an out. With the circle, the rotation, the oval. If anybody has contact with Marcia and Terry, let me know how they're doing. Occasionally I'll send out a message and I will hear that they're doing fine, but it's not much detail. And I haven't gotten in touch with Dawn yet about using the parking lot. Actually, there's that grassy place right to the right on the 24th Street side of the parking lot that we might be able to use. Hug your knee back in, take it across for a twist. Remember to shift your hips to the right a little bit, maybe a little bit more. Make sure the right foot rests on the left leg. Kind of better than even than on the floor. Hold it. I think Terry might have gone. I wonder if, I bet he didn't go to Canada this time because the border's closed. Or that kind of thing. Good thing we have a lot of good fishing here in Arkansas, not just Beaver Lake, but lots of places. Roll back onto your back. Keep your right knee bent. Shift your back so it's flat and you're comfortable. Right knee bent. Let your right knee go out to the right. Hold it. Again, that twist is a massaging of the internal organs, the liver, the spleen, a little bit in the kidneys for cleansing them. Squeezing out toxins to allow nutrition and that extra oxygenated blood to get to them. And yes, it's not antioxidant related. Antioxidant is a different issue. So yes, we still need to breathe deeply, get in oxygen. Okay, straighten your right leg beside your left leg and hug your left knee in to your chest and fold it. He just talks about that too in One Spirit Medicine. I think that's where I read it. I don't know. I have so many of those books. I think that was the one. That's the one I've been kind of focusing on these days. But he talks about, oh yeah, why, what antioxidants, what they're actually fighting or helping. It's free radicals. It's different. Put your hand over the top of the left knee. Rotate from the hips again. Gentle rotation as far as you can go without lifting up the buttocks on either side. Move slowly, mindfully. If you want, it's an exhale as you're pulling the knee inward toward the belly, and an inhale as you're circling it out away from the belly. Rotate the other way around, please. Bring the knee in and take it across the body for a twist. Remember to shift your hips to the left a little bit. Make sure your left foot rests on your right leg. Remember about the shoulder not trying to force it down, have it resting on something. Your arm, if need be. I can tell that this is, I really don't like winter rain. I don't like fall rain. I don't think anybody does. It's just dreary and cold. I don't like going out to do anything with the chickens or anything outside. Oh dear. And I must admit, I'm seeing pictures of friends living in Colorado. They have snow, and it's so beautiful. And I remember how peaceful it absorbs sound, all that snow, and it's just so quiet and so peaceful, even in the city. Of course, in a city, it could be because nobody's driving in it, but nighttime, snow at night is just like, yeah, things are pretty bad when I miss snow. Roll back over, keep your left knee bent, let your left knee go out to the left, right leg is straight. Don't force that left leg down. It's like gravity stretch, your reclined tree. I know. I mean, I'm glad that we don't have that kind of cold weather, and hopefully we won't get ice a lot or much or whatever. Ice is so much worse than snow. But I do, at times, really miss the snow, especially when I don't have to go anywhere. Huh. Except outside to take care of the chickens and the horses, and a little bit with the dogs and the cat. Okay, keep the left knee where it is, bend the right knee, bottoms of your feet together, knees apart from each other. Just relax. Don't force your knees down to the mat. You're lying down, your feet are together, your knees are apart. Recline bound angle. You can always have blocks there. If it's too strong on the hips, rather than trying to hold your legs up, put a block underneath them so you can relax. You may find that that lessens the pain in your hips when you don't have to hold them and tighten those muscles. You can get blocks even at Walmart now. TJ Maxx probably. I don't know. Sometimes Barnes and Noble has them. I think I might have actually one or two still at the studio that are still sealed, that were never used. Okay, knees up. Come to. No, let's do this instead. Lie down. Let's just do our leg stretches because they're so good, and our hamstrings, tight hamstrings, can cause back pain. Take it from me, I know. A lot of my problem was tight hamstrings. Strap around the ball of the right foot to stretch your calf a little bit more. Let your toes come down. Keep your left knee bent if you have low back pain. Just keep it bent and pull this leg in. We're working on this. If you straighten your left leg, you might get a little stretch in the front of the hip flexors. And that's okay. You can straighten it if you want. But that does lift your low back up a little bit. So keep the knee bent. Keep the low back flat. Just pull this leg in a little bit more. And this knee can be bent. You'll feel it. If you feel stretching your hamstring, you're doing it right. If you feel it stretching your calf, you're letting your toes come down. So that's good. You should try to feel stretch both, but primarily, if you can't let your toes come down, primarily feel in your hamstring. Hold the stretch. Now that I did all that talking, I have to adjust how I watch the time. We are going to hold it for a bit. Carefully and slowly release the pull a little bit. Let your leg go out to the right, stretching the inner thigh. All of that, the whole thigh, the back of it, the front, the inside, all of that pulls on your back if it's tight. Be careful with this outside stretch. Keep the leg lifted a little bit. You can even have a block or two if you want to take it more out straight to the side. Have it rest on something rather than uplifted. You don't want to take it out so far that your left buttock lifts. So you may take it down and pull it up. That's a different feel than straight out. So do what works right for you. Hold the stretch. I love blocks. Usually, if I'm going to some place that isn't a yoga studio, but they like a church in Joplin. My friend uses the Unity Church up there, which is a beautiful building for her bigger events, special events. And I always take a blanket or two with my mat. If I know she's going to be doing some yoga, I also take at least one block because she can't be expected to haul all her stuff from the studio there. So I'd rather have them and there be some available than not have them and have nothing available. Trust me, I take my props. Okay, bring the leg up, shift your hips however you need to the right, take your leg across to the left. Don't try to push that right shoulder down with your arm. Rotate the whole torso to the right a little bit if you want. Or again, use your blocks. Put your elbow on the floor. Just let your hand rest on your side. This is for the leg, primarily. The outer thigh. Stretching around the whole thigh. That's so important for backs. The tightness. If you were like me, most of the time, I exercised in my 20s on, definitely in my 30s after I had my kids. And I did videos, step aerobics and that kind of stuff, and weights. And it would get to the last 10 minutes with stretching, and I would turn it off because I didn't have time for that stretching stuff. Well, I found out. I paid the price. It took me a while to get some flexibility again. Okay, bring your leg up, lower down, change legs, left leg straight up. Take your time. Keep your right knee bent, foot on the mat if you tend to have low back pain so that your back doesn't arch up. Or you can straighten it out a little bit and keep the knee slightly bent. That's what I like to do sometimes. Hold the stretch. And tighten up your shoulders. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Use your arm muscles. And by the way, David does the same. He takes blanket, doesn't take blocks, but he takes a blanket with him, especially if we're going to be seated for a while or even for lying down. Actually, I think he takes one of those little rice-filled meditation cushions or something like that. I have one of those too, but it doesn't work for me. I went to the press room yesterday, met a friend after work. We had some hors d'oeuvres, basically. They're really good, by the way, and not high priced. There was a really good place to go to just get some light, something to eat after work. Then I was getting in the car. Slowly take your leg out to the left. All things apply. You know how to do this. You know all the details. You know the modifications. Do what's right. But do it of some type or other. But I was more looking at the press club, and I parked on the side streets, and I had to walk all the way around because the door's on the main whatever street that is. And it was practically empty. And they were doing really good social distancing. I felt quite safe eating there. But when I came out, I walked around, I got in my car, and I was looking around to see that nobody was coming so I could pull out, and there's a Walmart neighborhood market right there, right beside the press room. I guess it's press room. Right beside it. I mean, there's a little walkway between with lights, and there must be an apartment complex or something back there. What a great place to live, by the way. That would be right off the square. That'd be awesome. And I thought, maybe it's their home office for a neighborhood market or something. But I looked, and there were people in there shopping, and I thought, wow, what a perfect spot to have one of the little, I mean, it'd be nice to have a local neighborhood grocery store there. There used to be. But that's okay. It's a grocery store, and it's there, and it's handy. What a nice place to have it. I want to go in and see, because it must look different inside. The structure's different. It's like part of a building that's been there forever. Slowly, leg up and across, please. But I think I heard that there was people were talking about a neighborhood market downtown Bentonville, and I would look, and it's just not obvious. There's none of that big, signs and things. Fits in better. This one fits in better. But anyhow, we had delightful. I had fried squash with zucchini or something. I think it's radishes, like in little curlicues, and some kind of a cheese sauce, kind of lightly over it. And they had fried broccoli, big long strips, fried in or sautéed in something, or maybe broiled. I don't know. They had Brussels sprouts with honey and pecans or something. I don't know if I'd like that. I didn't try that. I like to taste my Brussels sprouts. I don't want other stuff. But yeah, there were a lot of very good. There were a lot of unhealthy, like chili fries or something. But there were a lot of really good things to eat and just chat. Yeah, it's almost lunchtime. I'm talking myself into food. Imagine that. Bring your leg back up. Roll to the side. Come to seated. Whatever's comfortable for you. Let's do a little bit of alternate breathing. We may go over time, a few minutes. There's nobody after us. Or after us either, I hope. We're going to use our right hand. You close your right nostril with your right thumb. When you close your left nostril, you can use your right index finger or the knuckle to get you closer. You can also use your ring finger. The two fingers, index finger and middle finger, rest on your nose, and use your ring finger to open and close your nostrils. Right? But it's easier in the beginning to use your thumb and your index finger. You use the same hand, right thumb on the right nostril, index finger on the left nostril. You exhale and inhale through one nostril, and then you change sides. And you exhale and inhale through the other. So we'll start together. Take a deep inhale. Close your right nostril with your thumb and exhale through the left nostril. Your shoulders relaxed. Exhale slowly. Inhale slowly through the left nostril. Once you're completely full, change sides, close the left nostril, and exhale slowly through the right nostril. And inhale slowly through the right nostril. And then change sides, close the right nostril, exhale through the left. Close your eyes. Inhale through the left. Change sides, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. And release and open your eyes. That's how it's done. You exhale and inhale through one side. You change sides after the inhale. You exhale and inhale through the other side. Change sides after the inhale. You can sit with your back against a chair or something. It's better to do it seated, but you can do it before you sleep in bed. It does calm the central nervous system. It does relax you. I will see you all hopefully on Thursday. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and tomorrow